Hello again. Day 7. Ghost Dogs Moonlight. This used to be one of my least favorite games, actually. And then, I don't know, maybe a year ago I replayed it again, and I like it now. It's not a favorite, but I do like it.
Dear Ned, remember Sally McDonald, the woman who took those photos that Dad has up in his office? Well, she just bought a house in Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. A gangster named Mickey Malone built it back in the 1920s as his country getaway. We're talking major fixer-upper. Anyway, last night Sally called and she said she desperately needed my detective skills. She refused to say why over the phone. Naturally, I said I'd drive to Moon Lake immediately. But weird things started happening the moment I pulled up. First, this big tree fell down behind my car and has me totally blocked in. And then I discovered that Sally's gone. She left a note that suggested something terrible happens here at night. She's supposed to call me from her car. So here I sit, writing to you while I wait for the phone to ring. It's nighttime, and although part of me is dying to know what frightened Sally away, another part of me is starting to feel a little uneasy. I'll let you know what happens. Ever yours, Nancy. Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's Sally. We have to talk fast because I'm in my car and my cell phone's running low, so we might get cut off. But did you see my note?
Yes, are you all right?
No, I feel awful bailing on you like you must think I'm such a flake.
I'm just worried about you. What's wrong?
I couldn't stand the thought of spending another night there. I knew you were on your way, but it didn't help. I just got too scared.
What's to be scared of? It's so peaceful and quiet here.
Oh, man.
Just wait till it gets dark. Then
It
you'll
is dark.
see. What am I saying? Nancy, you shouldn't be there by yourself either. Why don't you just go get in your car and go home? Or drive to Philadelphia. My aunt's got plenty of room.
One of your trees seems to have other plans for me.
What do you mean?
A tree fell down behind my car just as I was driving up to the house. I'm blocked in.
Oh, the dead maple beside the driveway. Oh, they told me it was in danger of falling over when I had the place inspected. I just never got around to doing anything about it. Listen, call M's Emporium. That's a store on the lake. Emily knows everybody. She'll know who to call if she decides to answer her phone.
It's late. Won't the store be closed?
Where's my brain? Okay, look. I just bought a little outboard motorboat. I haven't used it yet, but the guy who put it in for me said it should run just fine. It's tied up at the dock out front. Just get in it and go. Go anywhere. Just get away from the house.
I can't just take off in your boat. It's pitch black outside.
Then listen to me. Go around the house and lock all the doors and windows. Do that right now.
There aren't any locks on the doors and windows. What are you so afraid of?
The dogs. Those dogs. Out of nowhere. They're outside howling and snarling. Teeth and claws. Horrible.
Dogs? Hello? Did you say dogs? Hello?
Huh. Well, nice. Whoa.
What is that?
Well, it's not as interesting as you might hope, but...
Something's out there.
Wow.
Now look what you've done. That was a Strixvaria. At least I think it was. Never know for sure now, will I?
Who are you?
My name's Red Knot. And if you've got a volume knob, I'd appreciate your taking it down a notch before you scare away everything from here to Lancaster.
I'm Nancy Drew. What were all those noises out here just now?
That was me, Miss Nancy Drew, calling in birds. And doing a pretty good job of it, too, till you showed up. Where'd you come from, anyway?
I drove in today from River Heights to visit my friend Sally McDonald.
Now, why would you want to do a thing like that? The Malone house is no place for one young woman, let alone two.
What do you know about the woman living here?
I talked to her a couple of times. But you know, the last time I saw her, she wasn't doing so good. She acted real anxious, scared.
What do you think was scaring her?
The dogs. The dogs of Mickey Malone. Legend goes that when Malone was finally arrested and hauled away, his 4 dogs went running off into the woods and were never seen again. People would just hear them, howling like their hearts were broken every night until one by one, they all died and went silent. But every time someone tries living in the Malone house, back they come.
Are you saying Sally's house is haunted by ghost dogs?
Every night, ever since she moved in, you could hear them howl. And some nights the dogs would appear outside the house, running around, snarling and barking and throwing themselves at the doors and windows. And then they'd be gone. They're buried in the cemetery just beyond the house, you know. Them and Malone, both.
That's actually like really creepy. I mean, I wouldn't want a dog attacking me anyway, but a bunch of dogs all at once?
The dogs would attack her house?
It's like they don't want anybody but Malone living there. I guess they don't know he's dead. And so are they.
Did they ever attack Sally?
She never gave them the chance. After the first attack, she stopped going out at night. Just locked the doors when it got dark and sat tight until morning.
Why haven't the police investigated?
This isn't New York City, Miss Nancy Drew. All they got around here is one officious little park ranger. And all Jeff Akers does is sit around all day trying to figure out how he can get himself transferred out of here to a bigger park.
Do you live close by?
I just come to Moon Lake in the spring to look for birds. Got an observation platform just up the path, kind of my base camp, and I've got a little outboard down there on the lake. Left my car at the Big Dock Up Lake. Don't really need it.
Are those the ghost dogs?
Yes, ma'am. Which is why I think it would be a good idea if I went my merry way and you got yourself back inside that house. Good luck, Miss Nancy Drew.
It's actually like a really good idea. I'm gonna go inside. Oh my.
This is not good.
Right? How flimsy is this house? Okay, let's be brave.
I'd better wait until daylight.
Hello? Just what I needed. A plank. Hello? Oh look, another plank.
Better be careful.
Hello? Is anybody out here? Okay, so I've pretty much memorized the path that you need to take to get Snooky. They had no idea. 2000, I think this is 2002.
Looks like paw prints.
Ooh. That must be Mickey Malone. Which is actually kind of creepy. Actually, it's really creepy. Like, there's dogs, Iggy, Lucy, and then Xander, and Iggy, Lucy, Xander, Iggy, Vitus. That's the last one. Vitus. Okay, you can stop being a creepy bird. Also, I still hear the dogs. Safe again. But, you know, you're only so safe if you don't poison yourself.
A face only a gnome could love.
Wow. Nancy, that's rude.
It's locked. The key broke off.
Oh.
It's locked. There's got to be another way to get this open.
Why couldn't you just break it if the key broke? I assume that the lock would be, you know, flimsy enough that you can just break it off too.
It's stuck. I need some sandpaper.
Well, I guess we all need a little sandpaper sometimes. Water. Don't want to get dehydrated. Gloves, because you never know when you need to wash some dishes. I don't know. Well, there's this clock. I don't know what it's supposed to do for you. Oops. Hooray! What is the clock for? Nobody knows.
Rotten floorboards. Watch your...
You know, it would be a really good idea to put that note, I don't know, somewhere where you could see it. Really, Sally, that's not very smart there. Oh, wait, there was a poem.
Leaves that appear on a fresh...
Oh, we're not reading that. I did that in Message in a Haunted Mansion, and Nancy just reads and reads and reads. But, you know, good for her. Reading is great.
These look like dog tracks.
Oh,
I
so
need
they
a
do.
bucket.
Well, in case you don't know, I am a shipper of Nancy Bucket. So, the fact that Nancy gets to carry around Bucket this entire game is probably really special to her. I mean, wow, she spends a long time with her best friend.
Water. I need to bail out the boat.
Thank you, Nancy. With your good old friend Bucket. Let's turn this boat on.
The spark plug is missing.
Okay.
The spark plug is missing.
Great. The spark plug is missing. Well, we kind of needed that. Okay, let's see. Screwdriver. Yeah. It's a good thing it's the right kind. A gas mask. Are you my mommy? Huh. Okay, yeah. Creepy. Even creepier now that we are pairing it with rubber gloves, apparently. Where's the last one? There it is. Boom. And then... how do we... there were like 3 nails. How are there still more nails? I think that's all I can do in the daytime. I guess I could talk to Red
The
now.
moon's so bright, I won't need my flashlight.
Last night you said it was pitch black. And it looked the exact same last night. So Nancy, I do not want any of that. You were just making excuses.
Nancy Drew.
Does that mean you'd like me to call you Mr. Red Knot?
All right then. Hello, Nancy. Now put a muffler on it, would ya? I just heard a cerulean warbler.
Really? Are they rare?
Something tells me they're gonna be with you around. You didn't come up here to chit-chat, did you?
She's one of my... He is one of my favorite
characters. Do you know much
characters in
about
this game.
outboard motors?
Sure do.
Actually, my only favorite
type
character.
of motorized vehicle that's allowed on Moon Lake. Heck, if it were up to me, I'd ban them too. Have everybody get around by canoe. Nothing like the threat of physical activity to keep tourists away.
You're not exactly a people person, are you?
I came to see birds, not people. The more people there are in a forest, the fewer birds there are. It's a fact of life. Reason I like to come here is because nobody else does. It's perfect. Not a decent grocery store, restaurant, or motel for miles.
There's no place nearby that sells boat parts? Sally's outboard is missing a spark plug.
I might be able to help you out. After all, I was a Boy Scout. Be prepared.
You mean you have a spark plug I could buy?
Well, just so happens I've got 2 spark plugs right here in my pocket. Question is, if I give you one, what do I get for it? I don't need cash, but maybe you could take a few pictures for me. Know how to use a digital camera?
Sure.
Well,
what would you like me to
who
take
doesn't?
pictures of?
Birds, of course. There's a couple of birds I'm supposed to take pictures of for PepSoft, People for the Preservation and Study of Birds. You can recognize them by their songs, which are on this tape, which you can play on my cassette player, which you're going to have to get from M's Emporium as soon as you get your boat fixed. Think you can handle that?
I know I can.
Wow.
Here's everything you'll need.
I was actually
Emporium
going
is
to
up
say
lake on
that.
the west side.
Huh.
Not that I'm trying to get you out of my hair or anything, but try not to come pestering me till you're done, okay? One more thing. You smoke?
Only when I'm on fire.
Oh, you're a spunky one, aren't you? Well, these woods may not look it, but they're tinder dry. One lit match, and the best bird habitat on the East Coast will go up in smoke. So watch what you do, because if anything like that happens, I won't be looking for birds for you. Watch yourself out there.
I think I need to watch out for you. Whew, okay. That has been quite the eventful first day at Moon Lake. First day and a night, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Let's fix this boat and jet off. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't want to blow myself up. So that's a plus. Okay, this is a minus. Wait, no, that was a neutral. Huh. Okay, that one's a plus, and that one's a minus. Fine. So far, so good. Don't blow up, don't blow up. Okay, good. Ugh. If you do that wrong, you blow up, and sometimes I don't do it right.
Hey there! Welcome to M's Emporium. I'm Emily Griffin.
I need to find somebody with a chainsaw, and Sally McDonald suggested I talk to you.
Sally McDonald, huh? You a friend of hers?
Yes, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm in town visiting her.
Now what's she doing inviting guests out to that old dump?
She's got a little problem she's hoping I can solve. But right now, I need a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
A tree fell down in the driveway behind my car, and now I'm blocked in.
I'll get Tucker Davis to take care of it. Gotta warn you, though. Tucker tends to do things in his own sweet time. So how come Sally ain't with you?
The ghost dog scared her off.
I told her. I said, Sally, that old house is gonna be nothing but trouble. And sure enough, Malone's hounds have come back. Just when we all thought they were finally resting in peace.
When was the last time they appeared?
Seems like they show up every time somebody buys the place. So the last time would have been 10, 15 years ago.
What can you tell me about Red Knot?
The bird watcher. Comes in every so often to stock up on that weirdo food he eats. You know how them tree hugger types are.
Has he been in the
I bet he
area
eats
long?
salad
About as
because
long as those
this
pink-billed
woman
warblers and
doesn't.
purple-eyed owls he's always chasing have been around. Couple of months, I guess.
Yeah, well, whatever. Sure.
These so-called ghost dogs left very real paw prints. I saw some near the cemetery that's by the Malone house. Have you ever been there?
Can't say as I have. Poking around cemeteries ain't exactly a hobby with me.
Mr. Knott did me a favor, and in return he asked me to pick up a cassette player from you.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here. Thought maybe the old coot had forgotten he left it here.
Give it to me.
What
There you
else
go.
can I do you for?
I need to get the water from Sally's well tested. How would I go about doing that? Do you know?
Just get a water testing kit from the ranger station and follow the directions.
Where's the ranger station?
Just up lake from Sally's on the east side.
Why would there be a problem with the water?
'Cause it's well water. Seeing as Malone dug that well 80 years ago, what gets pumped out of it could be pretty funky.
Does the name Waldo
Funky.
Matthias mean anything to you?
Can't say as it does.
Where do you find your... Achoo!
Bless you. It's all the dust. Sometimes I think it grows on this stuff.
You seem to be selling everything under the sun in here.
Best part is, I got most of this stuff for free. See, back in the days of Prohibition, that old Malone place used to be party central. Only way to get to and from back then was by boat. And when those boats dumped, on account of bad weather or bad driving or the feds suddenly showing up, well, everything from diamond necklaces to full bottles of illegal booze sank to the bottom of the lake.
So it's finders keepers, huh?
That's right. See, recovering objects from the lake bed is illegal. According to Squeaky Wheel Acres, dragging the lake for artifacts was upsetting its delicate eco-balance. So thanks mostly to his constant squawking, the state banned it.
Are you saying you acquired this stuff illegally?
Well, of course not. It all washed up on shore.
Sounds like you aren't real fond
Sure
of
it did.
Ranger Acres.
Jeff Akers could take all his precious rules and regulations and take a flying leap. Now, I got nothing against getting more customers in here, mind you. But I kind of like Moon Lake the way it is. Small, quiet, out of the way. But Jeff Akers, why, there's nothing he'd like better than to see all the lake and all the property around it turned into one big, noisy, jam-packed state park.
Why would he want that?
He's the type of guy who likes to boss people around, makes them feel important. So if the park got way bigger and was crawling with tourists, why, instead of giving out maybe one ticket for littering every 2 days, he'd be giving out 12 tickets every 2 hours. He'd be in heaven. Well, hey, I'm sure you got better things to do than getting your ear chewed off by yours truly.
And I'm
I
sure
need
you're
to
right.
buy something.
You want it? I got it. As long as you pay cash, that is.
Right now, cash is kind of a problem for me. Do you think we could do some kind of trade out?
You scratch my back, I scratch yours, huh? Seeing as how you're a friend of Sally's, and seeing as how I got some things around here that could use doing, I guess we could work something out. What is it you need?
Do you sell sandpaper by any chance?
I do, but Mr. Birdbrain was in last week and cleaned me out. Said he was tired of that observation platform of his giving him splinters in his hinter regions.
Think I could get some from him?
He's your only hope, but you better ask him for it quick. That deck of his is pretty big, and those squares I sold him are pretty small.
Guess I'll see you later.
Keep on trucking.
I would think he only uses it for like what he's actually sitting on and not the entire platform. But either way, little squares aren't going to, you know, do a whole lot. Ugh, worms. Also, why is that worm just sitting on top? I believe worms can die if they're like that. Oh, that is a tacky sign. I'm sorry. Ugh, Emily needs to work on her advertising. Advertising tactics. Yeah. I feel like I'm riding a boat through a crescent roll. That's what that looks like to me. What do you do?
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm visiting Sally McDonald. Are you the park ranger?
Park Ranger Jeff Akers, at your service.
Hmm.
Let's see, Sally McDonald is the woman who bought the old Malone place.
That's right. Only she's gone back to Philadelphia. Malone's dogs got to her.
Don't tell me she believes all that ghost dog stuff.
I saw them myself.
Whatever's out there, I'm sure they're no more and no less than exactly what they look and sound like. Dogs. Living, breathing, very noisy dogs.
Honestly, that's worse, so I don't know if that's supposed to make me feel better.
Any idea what would make a dog's eyes glow yellow?
Something in their diet, maybe? Some oddball vitamin or protein.
As a park ranger, don't you want to know for sure what's behind these dog attacks?
Do you always ask this many questions?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I'm a very busy man, Miss Drew, but I am here to serve the public.
Do you have something I could use to test the well water at Sally's?
Sure do. Simple to use, too. Just pump some water into this vial, return the sample to me, I'll send it off, and in a day or two, you'll find out whether or not your water's fit to drink.
Great.
Does everyone out here have a well?
Everyone who doesn't want to die of thirst does. Hooking up to a municipal water supply is out of the question. Too expensive.
This place isn't exactly your ordinary ranger station, is it?
It's also the Moon Lake Post Office, and it's the unofficial Moon Lake Museum of Factual and Natural History. I've lived here all my life, so I can't help but feel obligated to protect not only the area's flora and fauna, but also its past.
So you know all about Mickey Malone?
As a member of the law enforcement community, I prefer to dwell on the positive aspects of history instead of on the activities of a bunch of glorified thugs.
Bitter.
As an officer of the law, can you think of anyone who might want to scare Sally off her property?
The woman who owns the shop across the lake? Emily Griffin? I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she's been dragging the lake in front of Malone's house for artifacts, which is illegal. It would be a lot easier for her to do her dirty work if nobody was living there.
Do you think it would be best if Malone's house was just torn down and forgotten?
Not necessarily. It's hard to ignore its potential as a tourist attraction. And if that's what it takes to draw more people to Moon Lake, I'm a reasonable man.
What do you know about the cemetery behind the Malone house?
People are buried there. Beyond that, what's to know?
Are Malone's dogs buried there?
That's the rumor.
The inscription on one of the tombstones reads Waldo Matthias. Does that name ring any bells?
Not in my steeple.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Please do. And if you have any questions, any more questions, just ask.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Not at all.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here. Oh, and one last
Oh, my
thing.
goodness.
The deer mouse population has boomed this year, so please take precautions if you're cleaning out any area where they may have nested. They can carry some nasty diseases.
Thanks for the tip, Ranger Akers.
I do not like him very much. I can completely understand why nobody else in this place does. Also, I'm not going to read all this. This is a lot. I'll just go to the important part. Famous residence. There's a dog on a boat. I believe that would be Lucy, I think. Anyway, it's important later. So, look at all of these regulations. That is a lot. Also, if nobody knows what this place is, I would kind of like to know how you're, like, if people, Nancy had no idea what a ranger station is. How are you supposed to know all of these rules and regulations if you don't even have the ranger station to get the rules and regulations from? Like, you need better signs or something. Water. Lug, lug, lug. Okay, got my
I don't
sample.
need water right now.
But I do need a bucket. Okay, what should we do now? How about we go to this dentist? Which is kind of frustrating because it just came from there. But at least the boat is not as slow as the bite from Main Room Deception Island. I have got to say, I am not exactly looking forward to playing that game on Friday. It's not one of my favorites at all.
Back.
I have that water sample. What do I do with it?
Just give it to me, and I'll take care of it.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
But you know, this is Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, not Danger of Deception Island. So I will stop talking about that game. The wildlife here is really pretty. Like, the trees and branches and stuff, they seem more realistic than some of the stuff that they do now. Which is kind of sad, actually. But, I mean, really, if you look at it, these trees look a little more realistic than a lot of the trees that they put in current games, where they just kind of look flat.
Here, birdie.
Nancy, you're embarrassing yourself. Anyway,
Where are all the birds?
I don't know, maybe you scared them away with your birdie. Ooh, bird. Camera. Ah. Yes! Come on. 1 down, 6 to go. I already went there. This part of the game goes and goes and goes. How do I get out of here? Okay. Well, I found 1 bird. And I need 6. So, let's keep searching. Ooh, cardinal.
Darn, it flew away.
Aww. Oh, bird. Found it. Are we waiting for the bird to pose or something? I mean, she just stands there and focuses. No wonder they have time to fly away. It's like, la la la. Did you hear that? I heard a bird. Or the sound of a bird flying away. Oh, there it is. Come on. Nancy. She just sits there and looks. Ooh, another one.
Darn, it flew away.
Well, maybe if you took the picture faster. All you have to do is, like, click that. Wow, was that a bug? Okay. Why are some of the birds flying? Woohoo? Are we having a party? It's like, woohoo! Woohoo! That must have been left over from
Find all
him.
the birds?
I'm sorry to keep bugging you, but I need some sandpaper. Emily said you might have some.
Here, take it and scram. I was just about to call in a meadowlark. That was always Ruth's favorite.
I
Was
can't
Ruth
scram
your
if you
wife?
just start a conversation.
Good heavens, no. My wife had no patience for birding. Ruth was my dog. Border collie. She'd hear a meadowlark, and by golly, her ears would perk, and she'd cock her head, and she'd just come as close to smiling as ever a dog could.
Do many people around here own dogs?
Not really. Most people don't bother. The place is surrounded by park land, and Ranger Acres just loves enforcing the leash laws. There it is again. Take your sandpaper and go sand something, okay?
I really hate to do this, but no, I don't.
Find all the birds?
I found some birds, but no matter how quiet I am, I've been scaring other birds away before I can take their picture. What am I doing wrong?
You're wearing those clothes. That's what you're doing wrong. You need to blend in, like me. Go back over to M's tacky tourist trap and get yourself some camouflage gear. Only sensible thing that money grubber carries.
See you in a while.
Shh, down a notch. Remember.
Well, clearly she also has sandpaper, so I think you're wrong there. I mean, if you didn't think it was not sensible, why'd you buy it?
It's stuck.
And then he just gives it to Nancy for free. Now, I really don't know why they go the directions that they're going, but that is how they go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, I'm in.
It could be mice
Okay,
making that sound.
let's see. I have,
It looks like a tiny
yeah,
hole.
I get it. I have the
What's the
code
combination?
written down, but I don't know if it will work without me actually finding where the code comes from. So we will see. 3, 2. Yes. Go away, little mouse.
I bet those were deer mice.
I bet they were too. So let's just put on our gloves and masks.
William Akers. I wonder if he's related to Jeff Akers.
It's a pretty big coincidence.
Speakeasy.
Ooh.
The dogs will lead the way. I wonder what that means.
Fun. These older games where you can't just close the book from wherever you are, it's a little frustrating. What's this? Huh. Anyway.
I'd better wait until daylight.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to be thirsty at night. I don't know. Why can't you get water at night, honestly? Is there, like, laws against it? Probably not, but you never know. Especially with Jeff Akers in charge. No water past midnight.
Howdy, Nancy.
To make a long story short, I need some camouflage gear.
Got some right over here. One size fits all. But I'm running kind of low on bait. So if you go out and get me, oh, say a dozen little critters, I'll give you the camos.
A dozen little critters?
Worms, spiders, beetles, grubs, anything that wriggles on its belly will do. Just look under stuff. Rocks, logs, dead leaves. Should be able to find 12 in no time.
Hunting for critters isn't illegal, is it?
Things ain't quite that bad around here. At least not yet. Now, if Jeff Akers' daddy was still around, you might get arrested for cruelty to animals or some such nonsense. Joe Akers used to be the deputy sheriff. Real critter lover, that one was.
Joe Akers is Jeff's father?
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with liking bugs or, trying not to kill them. But if I see a spider in my room, it's dying. I don't care.
I found this picture in
I've been
Sally's
bit
house.
before.
Do you recognize
And
anybody?
I will not stand it.
I'm guessing the guy's Mickey Malone, but I don't know who's that lady. Sounds like a case for our resident know-it-all Ranger Akers.
Do you know anything about the gold that Mickey Malone supposedly buried somewhere on his property?
All I got to say about it is, if there really was a bunch of gold buried somewhere and nobody ever found it, it's for darn sure nobody ever will. Not with them dogs up there.
I found an old newspaper in Sally's house that contained an article on Mickey Malone. It really got my curiosity going. What else can you tell me about him?
Person you should talk to is Jeff Akers. He's got this historical museum thing going out at that ranger station of his.
Guess I'll see you later.
I guess you will.
As much as she doesn't like Jeff Akers, she must like Nancy even less because she keeps sending us over there. Wow, Nancy. I wonder how long this would actually take me to get across there. Like half hour maybe? Longer? Little puppy. Puppy. That is a flexible
back.
tail.
I noticed you have a dog.
That's Yogi, who never goes out unless he's on a leash. Park rules.
Do you have any other dogs?
I hope you're not suggesting I trained Yogi to run around in the middle of the night barking and attacking houses.
I found this old picture in Sally's house. Do you know who these people are?
The man is Mickey Malone, I know that. I'm guessing that this is his girlfriend, Vivian Burnett, I think her name was. And judging by the year of that brand new Ford in the background, I'd say the picture was taken in 1928.
She was probably as familiar with Malone's house and his dogs as he was. Think there's any chance she's still alive?
Tell you what, Miss Drew. Why don't I go through my files and see what I can dig up on this mystery woman? I'm a busy man, but like I always say, I'm here to serve.
I've been trying to take pictures of birds for this guy named Red Knot. Ever met him?
Oh yes, the Birdman. I'd stay away from him if I were you.
Oh,
Seems
really?
pretty harmless to me.
He's a fanatic. He's got it in his head that Moon Lake would be the best bird-watching venue in the world except for one thing. Too many people. Believe me, if there was a way to get this park shut down and all the homes on the lake torn down, he'd do it in an instant.
What can you tell me about the gold
Sure.
that Malone supposedly buried on his property?
As far as I know, it doesn't exist. It's just one of those rumors people want to believe, so they do.
Thanks for all your help.
Where'd my
Not a
other
problem.
options go?
You're back.
Here we go.
I found a newspaper dating back to 1927 in Sally's house. Since you're kind of an expert on the history of Moon Lake, do you mind if I ask you some questions about Mickey Malone?
Not at all.
What do you know about a man named William Akers?
I know that he was Mickey Malone's right-hand man. I also know that although we share the same last name, he and I are most definitely not related.
What do you know about a man named Joe Akers?
Why do you ask?
I understand he used to be the deputy here.
So,
According to Emily Griffin, Deputy Joe Akers was your father. And according to the journal I found, William Akers' son was named Joe. Another coincidence?
all right. William Akers was my grandfather.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
It's not exactly something I'm proud of. My father spent his whole life trying to make people forget what my grandfather was, and trying to make sure people who didn't know what he was never found out. I've been doing the same thing.
When and
I don't
why
think
was
they'd
Malone
care at this
arrested?
point.
I'm sorry, Miss Drew. As usual, I'm a little pressed for time. If you have more questions, why don't you sit down at the computer and peruse the Moon Lake database of fascinating factoids that I've put together?
What happened to Akers and the rest of Malone's gang after he went to prison?
Fortunately for Moon Lake, they all left and went their separate ways.
Did your grandfather ever find any gold on Malone's property?
If he did, he never spent it. He wasn't poor when he died, but he certainly wasn't rich.
Have you gotten the results back from that water sample I left with you?
I meant to call the Department of Health today for a status report, but frankly, I've been way too busy.
Sounds like Moon Lake could use 2 rangers.
If I were in charge of just 10 more acres of parkland, they'd give me an assistant, and I could devote more time to the acquisition of more land and eventually put Moon Lake on the map as one of the biggest, most popular parks in the state.
Why didn't the Parks Department buy the Malone property instead of Sally?
She outbid them, the cheapskates.
Well, if those dogs scare Sally away for good, other people are bound to think twice about buying the place. The bank will lower its price, and you'll have your land.
You're insinuating things again, Miss Drew.
I'm sorry, I really am. It's just that Sally's my friend, and I'd really like to find out why someone's doing this to her.
Tell you what, if you're serious about making amends, there's some boxes by the computer labeled with dates. They're from the estate of a local history buff. She kept everything from newspaper clippings to old photos to recipes for apple crisp. She put everything in envelopes, then numbered them by year using Roman numerals. Just put the envelopes in order by year with the earliest date in front. Oh, and if you're rusty on Roman numerals, there's an entry on them in the computer.
I hope I don't get distracted. Apple crisp sounds good right now.
Don't go reading anything until you're through, or take my word for it, you'll never get finished.
Thanks for all your help.
Not a problem.
Is that why you never finished it? Also, this puzzle is optional if you already have the code to save, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't mind Roman numerals very much. Okay, so M is 1,000, C is 100, so that's 1900. This is 1910. 1908, 1904, 1911. This is 1919, so that'll stay here. This is 1917? Yeah. 1960, so that's going to be over here. This is 1969, that'll also go here. This is 1951, so that also goes here. That's 1970, so that also goes there. 1990. What? Okay. That does not seem right. Anyway. 1915, let's go here. 1917, so that's also near there. This is 32, 39, 41, 45, and that's not right. Let's see if there's, okay. Now I order them. This is 10, that's 11, so that's that one. That one's done. XV, XIV is before that. XII is before that. XVII, XI. Okay, that's done. Here we have XLI. Okay, check. 39, check. XC. Wait, that's 1997. That's not right. Okay, so 25. There we go. So 97 is definitely going to go at the top. This is 70, 60, 51, 60.
Now that they're all sorted, I can do some reading.
Okay. I mean, it's not really that bad if you know how to do your Roman numerals, which I did not, and actually was too lazy to ever do this puzzle up until, I don't know when. I decided one day that I was going to learn Roman numerals, and so I did, I guess. Either that or it was when Waverly Academy came out, and I realized it wasn't that hard. Especially if you have notes taken on it. Complaints about what's-her-face? Emily. Emily's complaints. Well, that's all the information we need from that. Actually, we did not even need information.
I apologize for my previous behavior. As a park ranger, I strive to keep my personal feelings in check at all times, and that time I failed. It's my duty as a public servant to try to make it up to you. What would you like to know?
I finished putting all those envelopes in order.
Excellent. Thank you, Miss Drew. And to show my gratitude, I've got something for you.
Chances are it isn't a paycheck.
No, it's an honorary junior park ranger pin. I keep them on hand so I can give them out to children whom I see demonstrating respect for park rules and regulations. A little bit of positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't get to give them out that often.
Oh, gee, thanks, Ranger Acres. Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
I imagine Nancy had to try really hard to get that thanks out. I mean, a pin for that? I think he should be saying that to me in a more enthusiastic tone. He didn't have to deal with those Roman numerals. I did. Okay. Time to look for some bugs. Chirp, chirp. What do you say it's a worm? Oh, look. It is the chirping worm. The chirping worm. Some of these bugs are not supposed to chirp. Like, oh, look. What is it now? Oh, look. I don't think beetles chirp. Oh, look. Maybe that kind of animal does chirp. Oh, look at this. More chirping worms. Ah. You know, they really went all out with the sound effects here. A bug. That was like the loudest I've ever heard a bug that small make. Impressive. Truly impressive. Bugs. There's also night bugs that you can't get during the day, so I'm going to have to do that. eventually. Yeah, I know. The bird flies off. Because Nancy is not wearing clothes that will protect her from being seen by a bird, I guess. Ooh. Hello, Cardinal. Where are the rest of the chirping worms? I think I need... How many bugs do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need, I think, one more worm. One more worm. Come on, I need some chirping. A shoe. A shoe. Ugh. Nope, no chirping. Chirping. Yes. Okay. I got my chirping worms all done. Okay, so I guess now we just go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed anyway. And then I'm gonna get my chirping glowworms because, you know, I guess they're not there. But I think the glowworms chirp anyway. Let's find out. Yep. Chirping glowworms. Or not. Oh, come on. Ah, a chirping glowworm. They don't chirp either. Sorry to tell you. Glowworm, glowworm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think she said a dozen little critters, right? The last two should be in the cemetery. Under this rock. Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes! My mouse is awful, by the way. It will double click things, and I'm not meaning to double click things, which is part of why it's so frustrating to do all this clicking. But, okay. Bed again. You'd think Nancy never slept. All the sleeping she's doing. Sleep deprived, except not really. We'll go to M's first. Mostly because I want to get it over with. I don't talk to her anymore today. Even though I'm pretty sure I'll have to.
Nice junior park ranger pen.
Oh, thanks. I made it myself.
Really be on Acre's good side.
Any word from Tucker, what's his name? He hasn't been by to move that tree yet.
I'll give him another call. But like I said, the man marches to the beat of another drummer. A very slow drummer.
Guess I'll see you later.
Keep on trucking.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12.
Hey,
There
Nancy,
we go.
how's the date finding coming along?
12 big, fat, juicy ones, just like you wanted.
Well, now, you done all right for a city gal.
Thanks.
Here you go. Hope whatever you're hiding from won't catch you. How you holding up?
Guess I'll see you later.
I guess you will.
What does that question have to do with our recent conversation? Nothing. But, so does this mean that Nancy changes her clothes when she clicks the camera? Or she's in those clothes for the rest of the game? I can't tell. You.
Good news. I have information on your mystery woman.
Thank you so much. Is she still alive?
Her name these days is Vivian Whitmore. She lives in Las Vegas, and her number is 702-555-9137.
Sorry to bother you again, but did those results from the water test come in yet?
There's something here for you from the State Department of Health.
Thank you. Arsenic?
Oh my gosh, not only is the water bad, but it seems like the well may have been contaminated deliberately.
I
Oh,
wouldn't
my.
go jumping to conclusions without proof, Ms. Drew. I'm sure there's a far less melodramatic explanation.
Where's Yogi?
In the run, out back. Even out of sight, he's under my full control, as park rules require.
Thanks for all your help.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks so much for all of your non-help and for the pin. Now I can do nothing with it. Like, it serves no purpose. It's just gonna sit there, a smiling skunk just staring at me forever. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. I thank you, Ranger Acres. Okay, now, I need those last two birds. I can remember how to get there. There. There's one. Take the picture already! Can you imagine if the birds were as impatient as Iggy, not Iggy, Izzy, and the other girls in Waverly Academy? Actually, I think the birds are worse because they can just fly away. She kind of left just sitting there like, here, birdie, birdie, birdie. Nope, that's not right. Where is the last bird? There it is. Phew. I was gonna scare it away. That's a pretty bird. I really like that bird. Now we just need a red-tailed hawk. Although you probably only know that if you listen to the recording of the bird sounds. But honestly, I don't think it matters because there's only 6 birds that you ever find anyway. So I should probably call Vivian first. Okay. 1 7 8 2 5 5 5 9 1 3 7. We get all nostalgic about pressing buttons, but you know, it really is not all it's cracked up to be. At all.
If you're selling something, hang up right now. I got an air horn in my hand that could deafen a dinosaur, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Oh, no, please. I'm not selling anything. Believe me. Is this Vivian Whitmore?
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You got exactly 5 seconds to state your business.
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. I just wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, right. The Moon Lake Park Ranger said you might call. But you have to talk fast. An old friend of mine is flying in today from Florida. And when I say old, I mean old, as in 5 years older than I am. Don't bother trying to do the math, sweet stuff. You'll hurt yourself. So, that ranger fella said you found an old picture of me.
It was of you and Mickey Malone. Do you remember him?
Of course I remember him. I remember everything about that time of my life. It was the roaring 20s, for crying out loud. One of the most exciting decades in American history. Just because I've got a few years on most people doesn't mean my brain's turned to tapioca, sweet stuff.
Nancy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Mickey and I dated for 5 years. Oh, I knew what he was, and I didn't approve, believe you me. But I was young. And we got along so well, and he was so considerate. He always kept birch beer on tap at that speakeasy of his just for me.
Tell me about the speakeasy.
It was in the basement, right there at Moon Lake. Feds never knew about it, but everybody who was anybody on the East Coast back then, actors, musicians, bankers, politicians, they knew. You weren't big time unless you'd made at least 1 trip to Moon Lake Mickey's.
That's weird. I'm staying in his old house on Moon Lake, and I haven't seen any sign of a speakeasy.
Of course you haven't. You're not supposed to. Only Mickey and Willie knew how to get into the speakeasy from the house. The rest of us had to go in and out the regular way, through the cemetery.
The cemetery?
There was a lock hidden in one of the tombstones in that little cemetery behind the house. You needed a key to unlock it, and when you did, stairs would appear that led to the speakeasy.
Do you have any idea how to get into Malone's speakeasy from the house?
I sure don't. That saloon was built using 2 main ingredients, concrete and secrecy. Mickey always bragged that nobody could get in unless he wanted them in, and I do believe he was right. But I'll tell you what, if you send me that picture of me and Mickey, I'll send you my key.
How will I know which tombstone to use it in?
As a joke, Mickey had a tombstone made with the name of this federal agent who had it out for him inscribed on it. That's the one the key unlocks.
Do you know anything about the safe that's in the cellar of his house at Moon Lake?
You must be talking about the wall safe. That was Willie's. By Willie, I mean William Akers, one of the guys who worked for Mickey.
What can you tell me about William Akers?
He was Mickey's most trusted employee. Mickey treated all his other men like dirt, but not Willie. He honestly liked Willie, respected him, trusted him implicitly.
William Akers, the guy you call Willie. He wrote about looking for the gold that Malone had supposedly buried on his property at Moon Lake. Do you know anything about that?
The hole in the floor gold heist. Well, I'll be darned.
So it's true? He did bury gold on his property?
Truth be told, when Mickey told me he was the one who pulled off that heist and that he'd buried 20 gold bars at Moon Lake, I didn't believe him. I thought he was making it up. See, Mickey and I were on the outs by then. I thought he was just trying to entice me to come back. But if he told Willie the same thing, maybe there's something to the story after all.
Do you have any idea where he might have hidden it?
Afraid not. Mickey was so secretive that the men who completed his house at Moon Lake were not only forbidden to talk about the work they'd done, but they were ordered to leave the state for good, or else. But you know, I think he mentioned a map. Yes. He said he was making a treasure map in that... a dog. Something about those dogs of his.
The dogs will lead the way?
He was always saying that. In fact, I'm pretty sure he had it engraved on his tombstone. Think, Viv, think. He said he was making a treasure map, and that he was also having paintings done of each dog. He made it sound like one thing had something to do with the other, like he was giving me some big important clue. But I just figured he was playing games, trying to lure me back with mystery and intrigue. I told him to buzz off. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Did he say what he was going to do with the paintings?
He said he was going to hang them in the speakeasy, and I'm sure that's precisely what he did.
Ugh.
Can you remember
So much
anything
talking.
about Malone's dogs that might suggest where he hid the gold?
I've stayed away from his dogs. They made me nervous, always jumping around, barking at this or that. The only one I liked was, what was his name? Iggy! I liked Iggy because he was nice and quiet. He just lay on the porch all day and didn't make a peep.
It's been fun talking to you.
Absolutely, positively.
That did not make sense. But you know what? Great. Back to Ranger Acres so I can mail this off. Okay. Waiting. And the
Hello
dog's
again,
back.
Miss Drew.
How nice.
Am I in for another interrogation?
I'd like to mail this photo to the woman in Las Vegas. Can you do that for me?
As always, I'm here to serve, Miss Drew. Just give it to me and I'll take care of it. I'm sure she'll be very pleased to get this back.
Thanks for all
And
your
I'm
help.
very pleased that I
That's
don't have
why
to
I'm
pay for
here.
that. Paying for shipping is ridiculous these days. And I'm sure it really always was, but it seems to have gotten worse. Like a lot worse. I'm selling a few things on eBay and the shipping price is like I don't want to make it expensive, but you know, you're gonna have to pay for shipping somehow. Anyway, I think I need to go talk to Red Knot now. Nighttime. I always go out that door even though it's not the front door. Click, 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 click.
How's the bird watching coming along?
I just can't seem to find a red-tailed hawk. Any suggestions?
Well, there's got to be lots around here. You haven't been going around wearing sunglasses and earmuffs, have you?
Yes.
No, Red, I haven't.
Well, according to my bird map, they like to nest in the big tree that's just to the southwest of the Malone house. I suggest you park yourself nearby and wait. Bound to spot one sooner or later.
Mickey Malone supposedly buried a bunch of stolen gold bars on his property way back in the 20s. Did you know that?
Really? That's interesting. I don't much care, but it's interesting.
Ever hear of a man named William Akers?
I know an extremely annoying park ranger named Jeff Akers, but I've never heard of any William Akers.
See you in a while.
Watch yourself out there.
Well, you know, Red is kind of useless besides giving you lots of things. Which means he's not useless. But in terms of knowing anything, he really knows nothing. Okay, so this
Well,
tree?
I don't see any hawks, but this is probably the tree Red was talking about. At least it was the tree.
A Kiar.
That sounded like a hawk.
All Kiar sound like hawks. Yes. What's that?
Hey, what is that hawk standing on? That looks like a speaker.
Whap. No, just whap this time. I like when she gets whacked.
I better get out of here.
Okay,
My arms and legs are tied. I can't move.
lovely.
At
Oh,
least
wow.
I can kick. If I could just get that scythe down, I could use the blade to cut the rope around my wrists and free my hands.
Yes, well, we can't all age gracefully. I realize that it doesn't make sense, but I really don't care. Oops. Wow, where did I do it? Okay. That head kind of made me, I don't think I did the head right. With the gnome head, but.
I can't just let this thing burn up. I've got to put it out.
Bucket! Come with me! Run! Come on, Bucket. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Bucket, come with me. We've got work to do. Bam.
What in blazes happened? I saw the fire from my platform and came running.
You came from the wrong
You weren't
direction.
in there playing with matches, were you?
I was looking at birds, and then I noticed something on the house. And the next thing I knew, I was locked in the tool shed, and somebody was setting it on fire.
Whoa, you're not making much sense.
That made perfect
Probably
sense.
smoke inhalation or something. Come talk to me after you've cleaned yourself up and gotten some sleep. I need to tell you something.
Somebody tried to kill you?
I didn't say that.
Somebody knocked you out, locked you in a shed, set it on fire, and you think they were, what, just pulling a prank? Wake up and smell the hostile vibes, Nancy.
I guess it's just hard for me to believe that anybody would consider me to be that big a threat.
I should have never let you stay there by yourself.
Sally, I'm fine. I feel bad about your tool shed, though.
Who cares about the shed? It was full of junk anyway. I'm glad to be rid of it.
That's kind of the way Ranger Akers saw it, too. He showed up right after the birdwatcher did and ticketed me for burning refuse in a manner that endangered park property.
That man is insufferable.
Emily was nice, though. She came by right afterwards and wouldn't leave until I drank the tea she made for me.
Look, Nancy, one more time. If you want to leave, just say the word and I'll come get you.
Sally, one more time. I'm fine.
Well, then promise me you'll be careful, okay?
I promise. I'll be in touch.
You better.
Well, I think you might have thought that it could just be a prank. The 84th Nancy Drew book, The Joker's Revenge, she keeps calling everything pranks, and they're like exploding chandeliers and burning the place down. And like, that's not a prank.
Nancy, how's it going?
Hey, Bess. How'd you know it was me?
Telepathy, of course. Just another of my many talents. You are so full of it. She got caller ID, Nancy. So now, instead of hanging up on the geeks that always call her, she just doesn't answer the phone. Very funny. So what's up?
Moon Lake is gorgeous, but it's so remote. The park ranger is the closest thing they have to a sheriff around here.
Park ranger? What's he like? Which, as we all know, is Bess's way of saying, park ranger? Is he cute? Not true, George. Nancy thinks everybody's cute, so what will be the point? Anyway, Nancy, you were saying?
His name's Jeff Akers. He's very helpful, polite, efficient, knowledgeable.
Sounds boring.
In fact, he probably knows more about the area than all the other residents of Moon Lake combined.
Sounds very boring. What's he know about these alleged ghost dogs?
He thinks they're just plain old dogs that for some reason like to run around at night.
Well, that's
And what
logical.
does Detective Drew think about the dogs?
I think Sally had good reason to be scared of them. I don't blame her for leaving, which leads me to think that maybe that was the whole idea.
Somebody had those dogs attack Sally in order to scare her away? Why would anybody do that? She was there for less than a month. You'd have to be a total creep to make enemies that fast. And Sally's one of the nicest people I know. Ooh, Nancy! Speaking of cute guys, Frank and Joe Hardy called. I filled them in on where you are and what you're doing, and they're dying to hear from you.
Are they?
Great. Did they leave a number?
Their number is 280-555-4865. Bess didn't recognize it when they called and almost didn't answer the phone. Good thing my cousin here has a memory like an elephant, huh? What's that supposed to mean? Call them, Nancy. They're dying to hear from you. But remember, Frank's cute and all that, but George and I want to hear from you too. Yeah, no fair discussing the case with them from now on and not with us. Promise you'll keep us up to speed?
I promise. This birdwatcher I met has got me taking pictures of birds for some survey he's doing. He's a bit of a grump.
Does he live nearby?
No, he just kind of hangs out in the woods. In fact, I only see him at night.
Interesting. He's in the woods at night. The dogs are in the woods at night. Could he have had a reason for wanting Sally out of the Malone house?
Maybe. From what Ranger Akers told me, Red would like everybody around here out of their houses. He thinks there's too many people at Moon Lake, and it's ruining the bird watching. Ranger Akers called him a fanatic.
Fanatic equals suspect in my book.
Malone's girlfriend, Vivian, said that Malone hired an artist to do paintings of his dogs right around the time he was bragging about creating a map that would lead to his goal.
Have you seen the paintings?
They're not, though either they're in the speed still haven't gotten into, or they're long gone.
Keep looking for them, Nan. If they were done at the same time as that map, they could contain some kind of clue.
Believe it or not, on some nights, this house gets attacked by a pack of dogs. Sally's so scared of them, she left me here by myself.
Did you say dogs? She couldn't have, George. Dogs don't attack houses.
They were definitely dogs. They came out of nowhere and started leaping at the windows and scratching at the doors like they wanted to get in.
Maybe that was just their way of being friendly.
These dogs were not friendly, believe me, and they had glowing yellow eyes. A birdwatcher I ran into said they were ghosts.
Ghosts?
The man who built Sally's place on Moon Lake was a gangster. The birdwatcher said that the ghosts of his dogs show up every time someone new tries to live here.
The place is haunted by ghost dogs? Like there's such a thing as ghosts. But it does sound like you've got another mystery on your hands, Detective Drew.
Kind of don't feel like doing the rest of this talking, and instead
Bye,
I'm just
guys.
going to call
Don't be a
Frank
stranger.
and Joe.
Take care.
I'd rather talk to the Hardy Boys at this point. 4865. I don't think I'm going to do all the conversation options with them either.
Hey, Joe, it's Nancy.
Nancy, how's it going? No, wait, don't answer that. Talk about the weather or something.
The weather?
Yeah, that'll give me time to grab the other phone and take it outside. Frank's washing the car. He'll kill me if he misses anything. Here, wait a sec. Take a break, it's Nancy. Hang on, he's putting the hose down. He's drying his hands. He's walking over. Nancy, hi. What's up? Bess and George say you've got another mystery on your hands. Or should we say, on your paws.
They told you about the dogs?
We made them tell us everything. Pumped them dry. As you may have guessed, we're not exactly rolling in detective work here.
So you're living vicariously through me.
It's not the first time, sad to say. What conclusions have you reached so far, Detective?
I'm convinced that someone is using those ghost dogs to scare Sally into abandoning Malone's house. If I can just figure out why, I might be able to figure out who.
Never hurts to look for motive.
Well,
I'm
let's just
pretty
talk
sure I
about
know
why.
why somebody wants Sally out of the Malone house.
So come on, spill.
Apparently, Malone stole a small fortune in gold bars off a train and hid them somewhere on his property here. They've never been found.
How do you know?
One of his employees, a guy named William Akers, kept a journal, which I found and, of course, read.
Of course.
Of
Wait a
course.
sec. Did you say William Akers?
Who, as it turns out, was our friendly park ranger's grandfather.
Whoa.
So if you guys were 600 pounds of gold bullion, where would you be?
Maybe Malone hid it in the speakeasy.
Maybe. The longer I stay in this house, the more it seems like nothing's impossible.
Keep the
Why?
faith, Nancy. If that gold hasn't been found yet, all it means is that nobody as smart as you has looked for it yet.
Wow.
Later, guys.
Watch out for dogs. Just watch out, period.
Nancy really is good at finding things that nobody has ever found for a very long time. She can find a missing queen in Egypt. She can find gold missing for not quite 100 years, like 80 years, I think.
Hello there. I owe you
Yes.
an apology. After you came up here looking for those red tails, I gave my map a closer look and realized it was more than 50 years old. Reason you can't find them is probably because their favorite nesting tree is gone. Finding that hawk's gonna be harder than I thought, so why don't you just give me back my camera and I'll take it from here. It didn't get burned up in that fire or anything, did it?
You'll be happy to know that I did get a picture of a red-tailed hawk. So here's your camera back. I got all the birds.
Thank you, Nancy. Nice work. You're a credit to your generation.
I never noticed those gas cans before.
I ran out of gas. So much for being prepared, huh? Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. I'm sure you've got places to go, things to see, people to pester.
See you in a while.
Shh, down a notch. Remember,
I'm sure I do have people to see. Maybe I even have some sheds to burn down. If you come back at Easter, I'll burn your platform too. With what matches, I don't know. All I have is a bottle of water. Let's go get a key. We haven't gotten any keys yet this game. It's kind of sad. I mean, you get keys in the first 3, 4, 5. Did we get a key? Yeah, we did.
A package just arrived for you from Las Vegas.
It's not an anti-deer game if you don't have a key.
Vivian sent me the
Want to break
key.
any littering laws, would we?
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
Maybe we would. What's it to you? No, but seriously, no, we don't. But nope, nope. Why? Why did I do that? No, why? I tend to keep the packaging my things comes with because it can be useful for storage or to reuse it, especially if it's something small that I just need to send to somebody. Then you don't have to buy it, and you're still paying for shipping, yeah, but, you know, as we've already discussed in this video, shipping is expensive. Which is funny, because I would have thought Secret of the Scarlet Hand would be better for talking about shipping, but Nancy didn't have to pay for shipping that time. Or this time. Jealous. Very jealous. Okay. Click. I wonder if I can open it without calling. You know what? I don't want to risk it. I have to go call Vivian again. Come on, mouse. Don't fail me now. Get me back to the house. Yeah. Click, 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 click. Click, click. Click, 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 click. Okay. You know, it's funny to... Well, not funny, okay. It's kind of strange playing all these games a day in a row, like, after each other, whatever. Considering they took months and years to come out.
Now, this is your station drop-off. Vivian's fixing snacks in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, Eustacia Andropov? Harry Houdini's cousin?
Use the air horn like I showed you.
No, Eustacia, wait! It's Nancy Drew. I talked to you on the phone a couple of months ago, just after a friend of mine was kidnapped in St. Louis. I asked you questions about the theater where the kidnapping took place, the Royal Palladium, remember?
Nancy Drew, the Snoopy one. You're not dead yet?
No.
Most people, I talk to them one day, next day they're dead. It is an old age thing.
Oh, stop being so morbid here. Have some clam dip. Hello? Nancy? So you know Eustacia, huh? Small world. Well, what's up?
I got the key you sent me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There's just one thing. It doesn't seem to work.
Oh, where is my brain? The key unlocks the letters of the inscription. Just dial in the password and you'll be set.
There's just one more thing.
You don't know the password. I'm sorry. Eustacia and I've been playing canasta all day, and I guess beating her all those times took more out of my brain than I thought.
Next game, I win. Next game, lose a place for pizza.
Well, get out your wallet, sister, because you're going down. So, oh yeah, the password. Let's see. It was the name of that federal agent, his first name.
Waldo?
No, not his real first name. What Mickey was always calling him. Baldo. That was it, Baldo. I always thought it was mean to call him that, especially since Mickey was starting to get a little sparse on top himself.
So I just turn the letters until they spell Baldo?
Yes, dear, but like almost everything else in life, it's trickier than it sounds.
Are there any other tricks to getting into the speakeasy that I should know about?
I suppose it's only fair to warn you about the tunnels, and the doors, and the dead ends.
There are doors down there? Where do they go?
Mickey had his men dig a bunch of tunnels between the speakeasy and the cemetery with hidden doors that opened when other doors closed, and lots of dead ends, so that if the speakeasy was ever raided, his guests could hide from the police. I was always terrified
terrified of getting lost, but you're a plucky girl. I'm sure you'll be fine.
It's been fun talking to you.
I know.
Wow. At least she knows, I guess. Okay. What am I doing? Once again, I'm about to use the motorboat when I don't need to. I guess I just click so fast that I don't know what I'm doing, and then I have to wait longer, and I just fast. And then I just make noises, apparently. All this talking and me getting impatient with the talking kind of is making me a little like, what's it gonna be like when I get to the Captive Curse? Because as much as I love that game, there is so much talking. So much talking. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's why I haven't actually replayed it in a while.
It's too dark.
Even though
I need a flashlight.
Oh, right. Probably my flashlight.
Oh, the batteries are going dead.
No.
I can't see a thing. I'd better go back.
Well, that was convenient. Okay. That's why I got in the boat, because we need batteries. We can't get batteries unless we are at M's Emporium. But you can't know that you need the batteries until the flashlight dies. I was just getting ahead of myself, I guess. As per usual. If I can get out of here. Okay. On our way to M's Emporium, so we can get some batteries. Batteries!
How you holding up?
I
Great.
need flashlight batteries.
That's
Do you carry
awful.
them?
Yep. But you know, I've been meaning to make a pretty display out of them packs of combo coal over there for the longest time. Just can't seem to get around to it.
I could probably do that.
Here's the way it should look when you're done.
Okay, again with the why can't I grab it? There we go. You know, I wish I could tell people what to do the way these Nancy Drew characters do. They're like, well, I haven't had time for this, and all of a sudden Nancy's like, I can do it. Nobody volunteers to do everything for me. Nancy, I think you should stop that, actually. You're making them too reliant on you. What happens when you leave? Then they have to do the work by themselves. Not that this would even take long, like, because they're in cases. Oh my goodness. These people keep giving Nancy tasks. What in the world? They keep giving her tasks that don't take long. It's like, why couldn't you just do it? But then again, I know how it can be.
Ta-da! One smiling goldfish. It's obviously never tried combo cola.
You just put things off and put things off and put things off.
Hey, Nancy, this mean you got them cans stacked?
You bet. They look just like the picture you gave me, which you can have back.
Here's your batteries, and thanks, Nancy.
Oh, we have to wait for Nancy to put them all in. Oh my goodness. There we go. Also, I think your flashlight would last longer if you turned it off when you put it in your whatever it is that you put your stuff in. Just a thought. Pardon my dying. Okay. Back to the cemetery. Again. And I'm pretty sure that after this time, we do not have to leave the cemetery. Again. I think. At least the way I played this game. Once you get in there the first time, it doesn't matter. Oh. Okay. Get the flashlight ready. Oh, the stairs.
It's
And I'm
silly
in.
to try to explore this in the dark.
I'm not exploring it in the dark.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh? What exactly is so confusing to this? You just go straight.
So this is the speakeasy.
Wonder how much our
Wow.
electric bill is. Yeah, let's get that off. I mean, really, just imagine her electric bill. Xander is not being helpful here. A button. Let's press it. Ooh, picture.
So Lucy would swim out to the shipwreck, which is about here.
Wow. Nancy, you're like really smart. Another picture.
If map is correct, the tree where Vitus would bark at the hawks used to be right about here.
How could William Akers not figure this out? He had
Those
access
must
to
be
the
the spigots
speakeasy.
William Akers mentioned in his journal.
Okay. So I believe... Oh, this takes forever. So slow. Okay. You do it 3, and then you do it 2. I think. We'll see if that works. Because this red color goes with Xander. Okay, so yeah, it ends on X. Right. So that's what you want to do for all of these. And at least on Junior Detective, it's do it 3 times and then 2. So this blue one needs to be Vitus. So we're going to get a V. I think it should show up. Yeah, okay, a V. You have to do this for all 4 because he had 4 dogs. So I think yellow's Iggy. So we have to get an I here. And then the last one is Lucy, which is green, which is an L. You know, Lucy, I guess that makes sense. Pretty self-explanatory, really. But this is not, like, I guess figuring this out the first time might be a little difficult, but after you figure it out, it's just a matter of clicking a whole bunch of things and whatnot. It's kind of boring, really.
It's too dark.
Fine. Nancy. Ooh, door. Also, here we are.
Xander played by the pump, which is right here.
Maybe that's why Nancy can't go to that pump often. Okay. Do you hear that? I heard a dog. Let's send this way. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Now we need the map that matches our map, which I believe is this one. So that's Lucy. That's Xander. 2, Iggy, and Vitus. Yes.
That doesn't sound good.
Not really. And it's another
It's
door.
some kind of lock.
Yeah, well, you missed your cue, Nancy. Your line was, it's locked. I hear dogs.
So you're the ghost dogs. You look pretty real to me.
They look pretty real to me, too. For 2002 graphics, they don't look bad. Although that one in the background is staring at us is a little creepy.
These dogs have been trained to act vicious on command.
That's an awful thing to teach your dog.
That's
to do
the
to a
speaker I
dog.
saw in the house.
Despite the Royal Palladium fiasco, destiny shines forth. Who would even pay to see that? Ooh, a key. A flowery diary with writing. I wonder who this could belong to. It's not like... I mean, there's just so many
the dogs attacked
suspects.
Sally's house because high-frequency signal was transmitted to them through the speaker I saw on the roof.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. You read my mind. Even that phrasing. You're so smart, Nancy. You can read minds. Wrong tile. Some of these puzzles are making the mouse or the speed go kind of sticky.
It's some kind of lock.
And that's some kind of key. That could be useful. Now let's see.
The wheel is gone.
That's because I have it. Ah! Where's my screwdriver?
It's blocked.
Well then how about
It's locked. It's locked.
I thought it was blocked. Now you're telling me it's locked? Okay, is it... Okay, there we go. Okay, then this one, right? Yeah. Whoa. Now we open the door. And now we go down. Funny story. This puzzle, I had no idea how to solve it the first time. And that I was so young, my dad had been helping me. And then we backed away and we just looked at that and I was like, oh! They stand for Roman numerals. So green is Lucy and L is 50. So you have to get that to say 50. Red is Xander, X is 10. So you have to do that. This is 5, I believe, for Vitus, V. Let's get that to say that. Yes.
The wheel is
Oh,
gone.
great. Wouldn't you know it? I left my wheel upstairs. Come on.
I better make sure this door is closed all the way before I fool around with anything else.
Why, Nancy? Why?
Something's missing here.
Nothing's missing there.
I'm this close to finding the gold. I just know it.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we... Are you kidding me?
It's locked.
Oh my goodness. I locked the door. This is worse than the Secret of the Scarlet Hand key cards. Okay. There we go. Gold.
100 pounds of gold bullion. Wow.
Wow. Let's just... What?
Hey there, Nancy. Why, what on earth have we got here?
I think we have a bone.
If I don't keep moving, Emily will catch me.
Yeah, I realize this. Up. Quickly.
There's plenty of gold. Let me out of here, Nancy. Nancy, wait. Let's talk about this. This can just be our little secret. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, remember? Nancy?
The gold's all yours, Em. Enjoy it while you can.
Ha ha ha.
Dear Ned, as soon as I got out of the tunnels, Emily had left the door open. I called the sheriff. But when I led him back down the well to the room where I'd left Emily, she refused to leave. He and his deputies finally got her out, but one of them said afterward that if he had to choose between getting a bear away from her cub and getting Emily away from that gold, he'd pick the bear. What's worse, by the time they took Emily away, the place reporters from all over the country. The commotion has scared away every bird for miles. I'm pretty sure Red Knot would like to strangle me. On the other hand, when Ranger Akers found out that 7 cars and 2 helicopters were illegally parked on park property and that he was going to get to ticket them, he was ecstatic. Tucker Davis finally cleared away that dead tree, which means I'm free to drive home. Moon Lake is beautiful, but I've had enough wildlife for now. Which reminds me, did I mention that those 4 ghosts, they're so sweet, in fact, that Sally is seriously thinking about adopting them. How's that for irony? Ever yours, Nancy.
What exactly was Emily's crime?
Bess, hi, it's Nancy. I'm at this little amusement park on the coast. I wish I could say I was having a wonderful time, but the fact is, some pretty spooky things have been happening here. There have been some strange accidents, and the carousel, it starts up in the dead of night all by itself, like it's haunted or something. You know me, I don't get scared very easily, but I saw it myself, and I'll call you later. I've got to go right now.
Very mysterious. Coming soon. then you know it's already out. So don't have to wait very long, just less than 24 hours probably. So that has been Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. I do like this game a lot more than I used to. Even though this time through, I'm not quite sure what Emily's crime was. But, you know, she tried to kill Nancy, so that's something. Well, stay sleuthy.